Hello and welcome to Market Fatafat right here on ET Now with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ashesha Advaryu. Over the next 1 hour, we'll get you a whole host of stocks that are buzzing in trade today. But before we get started with that list, let's first take a look at the markets. Now, Ashesha, it's a negative day coming in with benchmarks at the day's low levels.
Absolutely, and the sell-off has only intensified over the last few minutes. Nifty is now down about 200 points. If you can see the intraday chart, the sell-off has intensified over the last 15-20 odd minutes. Below the 25,000 mark, 24,950 is where the Nifty is currently trading. Nifty Bank is also now down 0.6%, 330 points lower for the Nifty Bank. 56,122 is where it is currently trading. In terms of individual losers, we have Tata Steel, which is the biggest loser on the Nifty 50 index. That one is down nearly 2.5% in trade today. Tata Steel on your screens down 2.5%, followed by Tata Motors, which is also down 2.4%. Shriram Finance, Coal India, L&T, M&M, Power Grid, all of these stocks are sitting with cuts in excess of 1.5% in trade today. On the flip side, though, we have Bajaj Finserv, which is holding up 1.3% as we speak. Wipro, Apollo Hospitals, Sun Pharma, all of them gaining in excess of 0.5% in trade today. In terms of individual sectors, we have Nifty Real Estate Index, which is impacted the most. Nifty Realty Index, in fact, is down nearly 1.5% in trade today. Brigade Enterprises, the top loser on the Realty Index, down 3%, followed by Phoenix Mills, Anantraj, Godrej Properties, Prestige Estates, all of them down over 1.5%. On the gaining side, we have pharma stocks, Ajanta Pharma, that one is up 4%. JB Chemical, Torrent Pharma, Mankind Pharma, all of them are gaining in trade today. But Kanishka, let's get started with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today.
Absolutely. Before we get started, let's welcome on board Sachin Gupta, the senior technical analyst at 5 Paisa Capital, and also from the research team joining us is Rabinder. So as we get started, the first stock on the list is Coal India. Now the shares have come under pressure today after Nuvama downgraded the stock to reduce from hold and also slashed the target price to 367 rupees from 405 earlier. Now, this downgrade, the brokerage says, is due to earnings pressure stemming from weak volume growth, subdued power demand, and also market share loss to captive coal producers in April and May 2025. Adding to the concerns is the drop in e-auction prices, further weighing on profitability. Now, Nuvama has cut its FY26 and FY27 EBITDA estimates by up to 9%, citing higher costs and lower volume visibility. Now, the only silver lining is a high dividend yield of around 6%, but the brokerage says that it prefers growth, which is missing. Now, following this negative commentary, following the negative commentary from the brokerage, the stock is down about 1.5% in trade today.
Traded the stock to reduce, and the stock is sitting with a cut on the back of that. But in an otherwise weak market, one stock which is holding up well in trade today, up nearly 2%, is Max Healthcare. Sachin, tell us, why have you picked up this stock for us? 1212 is where the stock is currently trading.
Hi, very good afternoon, and thanks for having me today. Well, as far as Max Health is concerned, despite this negative momentum, the stock is shining since morning. It is still holding the more than 2% of gain. Well, if you look at the daily charts, so stock has witnessed breakouts of ascending triangle patterns, and it is also already trading above the important key moving averages, which is clearly indicating a good strength on the charts. And I think volumes and RSI, which is also supporting this upward momentum. So I believe on the higher side, 1270 and 1300 could be the next target for the stock, while on the lower side, support is placed near around 1168. So one can look for the buy at around CMP also, with the strict stop loss of 1168 for the upside potential target of 1300.
Could see levels of 1300 on Max Healthcare, and the stock is gaining on the back of that. But we have metal stocks which are in focus today on the back of a note that has come in from Elara. In fact, they've gone ahead and said that margins for metal and steel companies could be higher in the first quarter of FY26 on the back of uptick that we saw in steel prices in the first 2 months of this quarter. However, Elara believes that this uptick in margins is likely to be short-lived because steel prices have already started correcting. In fact, in the month of June, steel prices have corrected by nearly 3 to 4% and hence the earnings uptick that they are penciling in for the first quarter is likely to be short-lived. As far as non-ferrous stocks are concerned, they say that is expected to inch higher. Remember, aluminium, zinc, copper, lead prices have risen on London Metal Exchange anywhere between 2 to 4% in the month of June and in this quarter so far. So that's the kind of uptick that we have seen for non-ferrous metals in the global market. But for now, they believe Chinese exports have seen an uptick, but despite that, imports into India have fallen for the fourth consecutive month in the month of June. So that's the report that Elara has come out with on the metal sector, because of which the entire sector is buzzing in trade today.
That's right. That's Elara's view coming in on the metal space. But coming to you, Ravinder, now Sterlite Technologies is a stock, and also Dilip Buildcon is what you have picked out for us. What's the news flow there?
Sterlite Technologies and Dilip Buildcon is in focus, where company in consortium with Dilip Buildcon has signed a rupees 2,631 crore agreement with BSNL for Bharat Net Middle Mile Network in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh Telecom Circles Package 13. This project includes a 3-year construction phase followed by a 10-year maintenance contract. So back of this, both the stock is in focus, where Sterlite is holding a gain of more than 12%, whereas Dilip Buildcon is trading in red.
Okay, so Sterlite Tech and Dilip Buildcon in focus on the back of that. But Natco Pharma, Sachin, you've picked up this stock for us. The stock is sitting with a cut of nearly 0.5% today. But what do charts indicate for this pharma company?
Well, so if we look at the overall chart of this Natco Pharma, it has shown a strong technical comeback after a steep fall from the all-time high of 1639 to down 726. Since then, the stock prices have been showing a good sign of recovery. In the recent time frame on the daily chart, the stock has formed a potential double bottom patterns. Confirmed breakout will be in place once the price sustains above 950 levels, and volumes are also supporting this momentum. So I would suggest above this breakout level, one can look for the buy for the upside target of 1080, while on the lower side, the support is placed near around 890, which could be considered as a stop loss point.
For pharma, and we have a technical view coming for you on this particular pharma company. But let's shift focus to Tata Technology then, and we have some important management commentary that has come in on the rare earth mineral supply shortage, where the management says that we are not seeing any kind of impact as of now, but perhaps if the situation were to intensify, we could see some kind of impact in the future. They've also spoken about their impact, and that impact that we are seeing in the automotive segment, something that the company had flagged off in the last quarter as well, where the management said that the demand for automotive segment is likely to improve in the second quarter of FY26. Their outlook on deal signings continues to remain very strong for the full fiscal, but for now they say that they are seeing some kind of sluggishness in auto demand, although industrial and heavy machinery demand and aerospace demand continues to remain very strong. So some important commentary that has come in from the management of Tata Technology. The stock is in focus on the back of that.
We've been exposed to concerns that have been raised by some of our customers and some of their suppliers, particularly the battery manufacturers. But we're really not seeing it play out yet in terms of caution as it pertains to decision making. So there's concerns out there. There are, I guess, concerns that this issue could build into something that is meaningful. But as of right now, I think most of our clients are positioning a wait and watch in terms of what happens, particularly in the context of the trade negotiations that are currently going on in London between the US and China. Well, I think we've seen over the last month to 6 weeks real improvement in terms of deal signings and deal conversions, and so we are expecting growth in Q2, but off a relatively soft base that we expect to complete the first quarter against. We really see that material improvement, particularly from a growth perspective, will start to come in the September and October timeframe. So in terms of the full year, we're still bullish. We're still confident that we can have a very strong year in FY26, and we're working very, very hard to bring in the deals that will underpin the order book that will support our confidence.
All right, that's the word coming in from the Tata Tech management. But moving on, Sachin, coming to you, a Apollo Hospitals is the stock that you've picked out for us. What do chart indicates for this one? It's been seeing a 1% uptick at this, almost a 1% uptick at this point in an otherwise negative market. What do charts indicate for the counter going forward?
Well, so today, like most of the pharma stocks are like doing well since morning. If we talk about the Apollo Hospital, so during the last week, the stock took good support at around 50% of Fibonacci retracements as well as lower Bollinger Bands. And since then, the stock price is showing some positive strength, and it is also hovering above the prior swing highs. So I believe as long as the stock sustains above 7,000 levels, the bullish momentum is likely to continue in this stock. For the near term, like I'm expecting 7150 and 7200 on the higher side target, while on the lower side the support is placed near around the 6750. So if anybody is holding the positions in this stock, can intact with the the positions with the strict stop loss of around 6750 for the upside potential target of 7200.
1,200, that's the target coming in for Apollo Hospitals. The stock is in focus on the charts, but we need to slip into a very short break. On that note, we'll discuss many more buzzers on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
पैसा लगाना है तो Century Plan.
Welcome back to ET Now. You're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we are discussing all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today. Well, let's get going then. Rabinder, you've picked out Hindustan Copper for us. Big investment plans announced by the company.
In the investor presentation said that the company has a plan to investment approximately rupees 2,000 crore for next 5 to 6 years, and they have aims to expand its mine capacity from current 4 million tons per annum to 12.2 MTPA by FY31. They say that they are looking to acquire promising copper deposits both domestically and internationally by participating in upcoming mineral auction. But the stock has erased all its gain, and the stock is now approx 1%.
Okay, so Hindustan Copper is sitting with a cut of 1% despite the positive commentary that has come in from the management with respect to their growth plans. But BSE, that stock is sitting with a cut of nearly 4%. Sachin, all of these exchanges have been in focus for the last few trading sessions. Today also down 4%. But what do charts indicate? Could the stocks decline further?
So as you said, like most of the exchange related stocks have been showing some sign of bearish reversals. If we talk about the BSE, so after continue the upside momentum or a strong rally, now the stock prices has shown strong reversal formations on the daily charts. It is likely to be driven by the profit booking. Well, if we talk about last 2 to 3 days of trading sessions, so where the prices were making a higher highs while volumes were not supporting that momentum, which was clearly indicating that there will be some profit booking sooner or later. So since last 2 days, like we are witnessing downside momentum in the stocks, and if we talk about the moving averages, so yes, right now prices has been trading below the 9 days of moving averages. So I believe for the near term, this downside momentum may continue. On the lower side, 2550 is acting as a good support area. So short term traders can look for the profit booking or an exit, while long term traders can still intact the positions on the lower side 2550, which is a strong, crucial support level for the stock.
That's the view coming in on BSE. But moving on, railway counters are also in focus today on the back of mix of policy reforms and also infrastructure push. Now, sources have indicated that Indian Railways is planning to finalize reservation charts 24 hours in advance, easing uncertainty for passengers. Now, additionally, new Tatkal ticket booking rules will also take effect from July 1st. Now, this will include OTP-based verification and also exclusive early access for individual users. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we have the cabinet, which has cleared 6,400 crore worth of for doubling rail lines across Jharkhand, Karnataka, and also Andhra Pradesh. The move will add to 318 kilometers to the rail line network and unlock 49 million tons of additional freight capacity. If you look at Railtail, that has won an order worth nearly 12 crore rupees from southeastern coalfields. Now, together, these developments are keeping the railway counters in the spotlight today. If you look at specific stocks, IRCT, that's down about 0.6% despite the news flow in an overall negative market. Railtail too, that's also down almost about 1%.
Stocks in focus on the back of that, but Bengaluru will be gaining substantial profit from the project delays, says Jaya Varma Sinha, former chairperson and CEO Railway Board. She also talks about the railway chart release and its impact on the travellers. Let's listen into what she had to say.
The second project which has been approved by the cabinet, which is the Bellary-Chikjajur doubling, that is a crucial route for the Mangalore port, for the connectivity towards the Mangalore port. And it is expected that a lot of iron ore and fertilizers, food grain, cement, etc., which is moving on this in this area, will find a faster transit. The demand for railway wagons is going to be there always, and already the demand is around 35,000 per year, and this is going to remain steady at this. Indian Railways has already touched 1,600 million ton, which is as much as what the US freight is carried every year, and it is expected to grow only exponentially. As far as the releasing the chart 24 hours before departure, I think it's a very good step, and that is what is required by the passengers. Anyone who is wanting to travel needs to know at least 24 hours in advance whether they need to make any alternative arrangements in case the reservation is not getting confirmed.
All right, that's the latest coming in on the Indian railway sector. But moving on, Sachin, I'd like to come to you. You've picked out Muthoot Finance for us. The stock is sitting with gains of more than 1% in an overall negative market. In fact, in the last 5 days, it has seen gains of about 12%. So what are the next level that you're spotting for this one on the chart?
Well, so if we talk about the Muthoot Finance, so it has been into the momentum for the past 2 weeks and maintaining its strength on the upside. Overall, it is trading into the higher top and higher bottom patterns and supporting by the healthy volumes. So I believe this upside could continue in the near term with 2,700 as a potential target.
2,700 is the potential target for Muthoot Finance. That's the word coming in, but we need to slip into a very short break on that note. We'll discuss many more buzzers on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्राइम क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं.